The Yankees get swept by you hear me? By the Miami Marlins in a series that we were supposed to win, especially after getting six new players. Is it six or seven? Seven new players to bolster the roster. This team is completely falling apart. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like everything I'm seeing from this team, I don't like the body language from the players in the dugout and everything. I really feel like Boone he's lost the clubhouse. I don't think they have any respect for him anymore. Especially after what happened yesterday with the whole Jazz Chisholm stuff and him barking at the first baseman's coach. What's his name? Travis Chapman or whatever his name is. Like, this team is completely unhinged. It's not looking good. Luis Hill took the mound today for the first time after coming off the IL. He's been on the IL all season long, pretty much. And like, I'm not gonna put too much emphasis on his outing because he's been out pretty much the whole season, pretty much. So I'm gonna give him a pass. But he couldn't find the strike zone. He couldn't find the strike zone, but the stuff was there. He was throwing like 98 at times or something like that, 97. So he was throwing hard. Hopefully he could sit down with Matt Blake and they figure it out. And yeah, hopefully he could come back in his next outing and give us a good outing because we really need it. This team is desperate right now for anything. We need anything we can get right now. We need a jolt of energy, something. I feel bad for all the new guys that we acquired. They probably came into this and they're like, what is going on over here, man? This team is a freaking shit show. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about the comments that Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter made about this Yankee team, which is pretty glaring. If you missed it, they were on Fox doing the broadcast, and they had some interesting comments. I feel like they held back a lot. A-Rod, not really so much, but Jeter, you could tell he held back a little bit. And you know what? Let's go ahead and listen to that real quick, and we'll talk about that in a second. Let me see here.
Kevin, you can't make this up. I mean, look, you can bring in 9 relievers. It's not going to make a difference. I don't care, Jeter, if you bring back your 98 bullpen with Mariano, Mike Stanton, Jeff Nelson.
You guys, let me know if you can hear it.
If pitchers go 3 1/3, 4 1/3, it's not going to work. Baseball is a marathon, not a sprint. And if these guys continue to get 14, 15 outs per game, by the time early to mid-October, they're dead anyways. But here's my biggest concern. You bring in 7 guys and you're still miles away from winning a world title.
It's crazy. You hear what he said there? You're bringing 7 guys and you're still miles away from winning a world title. It's crazy, man. He hit it right on the head, though.
And the one thing you can never outrun, you got to restructure this roster. I like a lot of the players individually, but together it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, look. Let me know if you guys heard that well, because it sounded kind of low on my end. But A-Rod, everything he said is 100% true, right? You're bringing all these guys, and you're still miles away from winning a World Series. He's talking about the roster construction. He's taking a jab at Cashman right there, and we know the history between those two. It's not the nicest, let's put it that way. Even with Jeter too, Cashman's he's gone on everybody's bad side. It seems like, except Hal. But A-Rod, look, everything he said is completely true. You cannot. The way the roster's constructed is just terrible, and it's facts, man. Like, and there's not one point where we can have all our best players on the field at the same time. We can't. There's too many log jams in different positions. It's just too many. For so many years we were so right-handed heavy, and us fans, we screaming, get some lefties, and they just went completely lefty. It makes no sense. Sometimes I have no idea what they're doing. I do still like the pickups that they did get, but it's pretty obvious that it's not enough right now, especially the way this team is playing. The way this team is playing is just, it's a hot mess. It is a hot mess. I don't know if you guys saw, and I'll look for it for in a second here, the clip of Boone pulling Jazz Chisholm into the tunnel, right? He pulls him into the tunnel. Whatever they spoke about in the tunnel, I'm pretty sure he didn't have the same energy that he had with the first base coach. And that right there, that bothers me. That really, really bothers me. Because I feel like, I think he's afraid of certain players. He's afraid of the kind of response that he would have gotten by Jazz or something like that, you know? It's crazy. It's crazy. But Derek Jeter responds to this. So, because after A-Rod said all that, he goes to Jeter, and Jeter responds. Let me turn up the volume on it real quick before I play it, because it's a little low. Give me a second here. You might see something pop up. All right.
Kevin,
All right. The volume on that is up.
what do you think there?
Let me do one more, and then we'll play that.
Poppy, eventually.
All right. Let's hear what Jeter had to say.
What do you think, Derek?
Well, I mean, look, you can't restructure the roster right now. I mean, they went out and they solidified the bullpen. I think that was one of the priorities going into the trade deadline. Like I said earlier, probably wanted another starter, but there weren't too many starters that were being moved. But the thing that's concerning, it's not just the pit. Look, the bullpen struggled yesterday. They're going to struggle. New team, new surroundings. It takes a while to adjust. They make way too many mistakes.
You guys hear that? Way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. And I'm telling you right now, if Derek Jeter was in that locker room, I promise you, he would have had some words for some of these guys. And I bet that he would have, you know, I don't think, not with Joe Torre, but with a guy like Aaron Boone, he would have definitely, like, senior captain. And this is not a knock against Judge, right? Because everybody has their way of doing things. But when you see your captain go off on certain players, you know, okay, I got to step up and hold people accountable. The thing with Boone is that it's a little too late to start holding people accountable. It's too late. And that's what I've been saying, that you can't go 8 years or all season and letting people slide with everything. And now you want to bark at people? Now you want to get upset? At certain people too. That's the biggest problem. If you're going to be like that, you have to have that standard for everybody, not just certain players.
Way too many mistakes, and you can't get away making that number of mistakes against great teams. It just doesn't happen. You know, and you know, they had base running mistake today. We saw the guy get thrown out at home plate. You can't continue to do it. You have to clean it up.
You got to clean it up.
There's no excuses. You have to play better. If you don't play better, you're not going to go very far.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? You got to play better. And this is not, you know, I had a comment last night after yesterday's video, right? After yesterday's stream, somebody commented and they said, he was like, oh, you don't understand. These people are human too and all this other stuff. And I'm like, look, I get it. I get it. They're human. You're going to make mistakes. Got it. There's nobody perfect on this planet. And that's 100% guaranteed. Nobody's perfect, right? But come on, when this stuff is happening over and over and over and over and over again. And then he went on to say, oh, you obviously never played baseball to me. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? What does that have to do with anything? And I have played baseball, maybe not professionally, but I played baseball. And even in Little League, I watched if my son made a boneheaded a mistake like that, or anybody, if you play in the high school team and you forget how many outs there are, you're gonna hear it, right? That's not okay on any level. This is common sense stuff. The mistakes that they're making, they're killing themselves, and the errors and everything. They find ways to lose. It's incredible, actually. If there was a stat, everybody loves analytics, right? If there was a stat on how many ways the Yankees can lose, it'd be incredible. It'd be incredible. 1,000 ways to lose, right? They should write a book. But let me say what's up to the chat because you guys are in here killing it. D Train, what's up, man? He says he still loves the team through good and the bad. Yeah, you're right, man. I'm here with you, bro. Whether they win or lose, I'm gonna be here watching, and maybe that's part of the problem too, because it seems like they don't care as long as people are watching and spending money. So, Katie, what's up, Katie? I'm doing good. Tired. I was up all night last night. NFE was good, my guy. More like the Yankees got spanked. Yes, sir. Jacob, my man Jacob Petruzzi's in the building. We already hit D-Train. NFE says first outing for Hill. Command is the issue. If he can get down, dude will be unstoppable. Yeah, the problem is, man, we're running out of time. This is we in must-win territory. Cannot lose. We're about to go up against the Texas Rangers for a 3-game set, and we could literally leave Texas out of the playoffs, out of the wild card. Is that serious at this point? Like, enough playing around, all the mistakes, I get it. Now's not the time to be tinkering with lineups or trying to figure out a pitcher or anything like that. Now's the time to really, really freaking put the pedal to the metal and let's go. We're gonna see what this team is made of in the next few days. I know I keep saying that, but and so far they haven't showed us anything. But when you look at the standings right now, let me pull this up real quick. When you look at the standings, it ain't good. All right. Right now we're in third place. Okay. We're a game and a half behind the Boston Red Sox. Okay. How that happened is beyond me. This is the wild card. In the wild card, right now we're just half a game up. We got it. This is going to be a big series versus the Rangers. A big series. I feel like, I'm going to be honest, if we were to if somehow we were to get swept over there, I don't think this team could recover from that. I really don't. The momentum, whatever momentum they had after the trade deadline, it all went away Friday night when they lost that game 13-12. It's like the life was sucked out of this team. It was sucked right out of it. When you're looking at that clubhouse, man, it looks like a bunch of people that are shocked. They're like all shocked. That's what it looks like to me. And then your manager, the guy who's in charge, he's in full panic mode. He may not say it, right? We'll listen to his post-game interview. He may not say it, but his face says 1,000 words, right? A picture says 1,000 words, and his face is written all over him. He is in full-blown panic. The whole, man, and look, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But the way it looks like to me, right? I wish I could be a fly on the wall. The way it looks like to me is they're a hot mess, man. They're a hot mess, and they know it. And they know it. These guys know it. They might not say it. Obviously, they can't, but they just kind of going with the motions like, hey, it is what it is. And the only people that really, really feel it, the guys that have been there the longest, guys like Aaron Judge, I've heard people say that he don't care about winning. I'm like, what are you talking about, man? Guys that have been there for a while, they're the ones that really, really, really feel it. And look, some of this is on Judge too, because he's part of the leadership, right? He's the captain. He's got to hold players accountable too. How many stories we heard of Jeter telling people like, look, hey man, we don't do that here. Or, whatever it is. How many stories? There's so many stories. So many of him really like pulling somebody to the side and letting them know. Just letting them know, like, bro, I'm telling you right now, if Judge goes to somebody, if Judge goes to anybody, I don't care who it is on that team, and says, look, man, get your shit together. And they don't do it, one phone call, I promise you that guy's out of here. He has that kind of power on this team, I would imagine, right? He's Aaron Judge. It's like LeBron James and the Lakers. If he says, look, we want this guy, they're going to get him. Or I want my son playing with me, they're going to get him. So he needs to step up and take, he needs to, kind of just take hold of the wheel a little bit. But at the end of the day, he's another player, right? It all falls on Boone. And I'm sorry, like, Boone's got to go. Enough is enough. He's got to go. And I was saying before, they wait till the offseason. If they don't make it, he's got to go. No, he's got to go now. I've come to that conclusion. He should have been gone years past, but, water under the bridge, right? But right now, where we stand right now, he has to go. He just has to go. This team needs something. This team needs a freaking jolt of electricity, something to wake everybody up. And I'm telling you, that will do it, right? Who we bring in there after that, it don't even matter. I don't care. Go get freaking Carlos from the block or something. Anybody. Just to let everybody know that everybody's on notice here. That this is not acceptable by any means necessary. And I really feel like he's lost the clubhouse. He's lost it. If you look at if you watched, and I'm gonna find it first so we can watch it. If you saw the way he was arguing with Travis Chapman, the first base coach, I think that's his name. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. If you see that, that is not good. That is terrible. That is unacceptable. Look, it's like anybody, even if you're a parent, right? They say it's not good. Don't fight in front of the kids. You go in the bedroom, hash it out, whatever, but not in front of the kids. It's the same thing in the military. When I was like a platoon sergeant, especially with leaders, right? Like coaches. So it's like me and another squad leader, or if I'm the platoon sergeant and I have a squad leader, I don't rip him in front of the soldiers because he loses all credibility with the soldiers. I pull him to the side, or her. We go to the side and we talk it out. And sometimes it's heated. Sometimes it's people cursing at each other, going at it, right? But it's never in front of them, right? Never in front of the players. In my case, the soldiers, right? You never do it in front of them. You never do it. And he broke that cardinal rule. I'm telling you, he broke it. He broke it. He's got to go ASAP. I don't know who's up there, how, somebody. Once you saw that, that is, bro, that's like leadership 101. You don't do that. You don't do that. I'm telling you. He's got to be on the next thing smoking, especially after getting swept by the Marlins. I mean, I don't know. Is it going to happen? Probably not, right? But it really needs to. And yesterday when I saw that, I'm trying to find it right now. I knew right there, he's got to go. He has completely lost it, bro. You do not do that. You don't do that. So what's up to Curran? What's up? They came out of here like, oh my God, I'm going to the Yankees, only for the Yankees to be a train wreck. I know, right? Those poor pitchers. Even though they didn't do so well either, man, their first time out, but this thing is a mess. It's a hot mess. Chef, what's good, Chef? Good to see you too, brother. D-Train says, the Alex and the Jester just reiterated what everyone has been saying for a while now. Yeah, you know what? Let's play the last 1-2 here. And this was A-Rod. And this is where A-Rod really, he kind of really lets it all out here.
Poppy, eventually you have to say, enough with this. There's one of the best teams in the league. I don't think they are, because we're now in almost August, right? And the numbers say that they're not the best team or one of those best teams. And like Derek
Well, they got
said,
the talent.
the talent they do have. But to Derek's point, you can't outrun mistakes day in and day out, both physically and mentally. And where's the accountability?
Where is it?
If any one of us made a mistake, we would be sitting our butt right on the bench. I mean, I see mistake, and there's no consequences.
Man, he's been saying what we've all been saying. It's crazy. These are guys, man, they've been on championship teams. They've been around. These are guys who've seen winning teams. Man. Like they've been in the houses with winning teams. Something that our manager has never been in a clubhouse with a winning team. That's not good. Not good at all. Katie Harris says, I'm giving A-Rod credit as well. Yeah, you know what? A-Rod is you could say what you want about him, right? And I understand too. And I didn't like him I liked him as a player, but I always found him to be very arrogant and just kind of a dick, right? But he knows baseball. A lot of things that's happening, right? He's been saying this stuff for a while now. It's just nobody's been listening. And he was a great player. And at the end of the day, he's been in a winning club. He's been there. You know, we talk about like Aaron Judge struggling in October. He's been there and figured it out. So when he speaks, I listen. Let me look for this real quick as I get into the chats. Chef says, I'm doing okay. How you doing? Mr. Coconuts, Cash brought players like Jazz and had yes men like Boone, which is why this team is playing bad. Boone always been like this, and these players were given away for a reason. Yeah, Jazz, he does have a little attitude problem, Mr. Coconuts. I see that too, but you know, I just need performance, man. I really could care less if they got an attitude or if they friends in the clubhouse. Do they go out to eat together, or I could care less. I need performance. When it's affecting the play on the field, that's when it affects me because I'm just a viewer, right? Boone is supposed to manage all that stuff. It's in the title of his job, right? The manager. You manage everything. Let me look something up. Pull this thing up here. All right. We'll put this up. So if any of you missed it, right? This is what I'm talking about when he was yelling at Mr. Travis. I was about to say Travis Scott. Travis Chapman or whatever his name is. I don't even know his name, to be honest. I can't remember. Let's play this.
Boone's trying to address everything, and here he is with Travis Chapman, the first base coach, and he seems heated in talking to Chapman. I always have to wonder, Paul, when do you blame the players and when do you blame the coaches? Shouldn't a player know not to do that?
Man, I bet you could tell just looking at the first base coach face, he's looking at him like, bro, why are you being a dick? Like, you know, we could have had this conversation later. They really could have. And, you know, the thing is, right, you see how he dealt with it with Jazz, but he didn't afford this guy, who's his own staff, the same respect, you know, to pull him to the side or something. It's just crazy, man. I'm telling you, it's a hot mess. And there's another camera angle. I'm looking for it that I saw. That it's like an aerial view of the whole dugout when all that happened, right? When he pulls Jazz into the tunnel, whatever conversation they had in there, he comes back out, and then he starts arguing with the freaking first base coach. The other view, I can't find it right now. You can see all the players, everybody in that club, in that dugout was looking back, like looking. It's not good, man. You can't hear the Jeter audio? Oh, man. I'll play it again. Hold on. Let me see if I can play it. You guys heard the Jeter? Let me know. 'Cause I was having trouble messing with that. I'll play it again. Why not? Let's just play it again and see if it works.
What do you think, Derek?
Well, I mean, look, you can't restructure the roster right now. I mean, they went out and they solidified the bullpen. I think that was one of the priorities going into the trade deadline. Like I said earlier, probably wanted another starter, but there weren't too many starters that were being moved. But the thing that's concerning, it's not just the pit. Look, the bullpen struggled yesterday. They're going to struggle. New team, new surroundings. It takes a while to adjust. They make way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes, and you can't get away making that number of mistakes against great teams. It just doesn't happen. You know, and you know, they had base running mistake today. We saw the guy getting thrown out at home plate. You can't continue to do it. You have to clean it up. I mean, it's that simple. There's no excuses. You have to play better. If you don't play better, you're not going to go very far.
I think.
Anyway, I hope you guys heard that. But yeah, let me get into the chats, man, because I'm kind of neglecting y'all. My bad. All right, Mr. Coconuts. Aaron Boone never coached before he became a manager. Exactly. You know, that's a good point too. But at this point, at 8 years in, you know, I gotta imagine that you figured it out by now. You know something, and he has gotten better in some aspects. I will give him that. He has gotten better in some things, but some things just don't change. And if it's coming from the front office, like a lot of people say it is, then okay. But at the end of the day, he's the one that's making decisions on the field. Whether they tell him, he don't have to go by it. Maybe they'll fire him if he doesn't do what they want, and that's okay. But all this stuff, the stuff that's happening with Jazz and not sitting players down or holding people accountable, whatever you want to call it, and stuff like that, that's on him. That is on him. And he knows who to do it to. That's the same reason why Verdugo could get away with freaking not running a first. And he's going to say, oh, he's a little banged up, right? Or whatever. But Torres can't. Or Jazz could get away with something, but somebody else can. And I'm going to be honest with you. It's because he's a freaking punk, bro. He's scared to tell him something. I've seen people like that. Like, they're ready to bark on... They'll get tough on somebody that they know is not going to do anything, but not tough on somebody who's going to bark back. And that's what I see with him. Like, it is what it is. I can't even sugarcoat it. He's lost it. He's unhinged. He's got to go. I really feel like, and it's got to be sooner than later, man. I'm talking like, if they lose this series coming up, if they go half a game out the wild card, I don't see how you could keep him there. How you just let the season go to waste. How? Where are you, Hal? Where's Hal? How do you let it go to waste, dude? You just spent more money, too. You giving him everything. And this is what you're getting, bro. Like, you got to do something, man. Step up. You got to let your nuts drag. Just slam them shits on the table. You know? I don't even know where Hal's at. I haven't seen Hal all season. Maybe I missed him, but I haven't seen him all season. Make sure y'all like the video if you can, man. I appreciate it. Hit that like. Hit the like. Hit the like. Where we at here? Boone is a bad parent. I wouldn't say, oh, he's like a bad parent. Oh, I thought you say he's a bad parent. I was going to say, damn, man, we're going too far now. I know, right? 40 people, 8 likes. Crazy, man. Crazy. Katie says, this team lacks basic fundamentals. This losing streak has to stop. The thing is that they'll win 1, 2 games, whatever, and then go right back to losing. Like, man, this team is the season is slipping. It's slipping away, and it's slipping away fast. And I'll be honest, like when you look at the players, right, the talent is there. You can't deny that. They have talent. They should be a lot better than this, but they're not. They find ways to lose. They find ways to lose. And if it's not the players, it's the manager. And if it's not the manager, it's the players, right? When they play clean baseball, right? No errors on the box score today, right? When they play, when they play clean baseball, they don't hit, or they don't do the other things they need to do. It's crazy, man. Crazy. Boone wants to be their pal. It's too late for all that. The thing with Boone, see, this is why I always feel like it would have been better for Boone to come in really hard, right? Like a hard coach, like an old school type of coach. It's better to come in like that and then ease off. But to come in soft, this is gonna sound crazy. Pause, pause in advance. To come in soft and then try to get hard after, it's just you can't do that. It doesn't work like that. It's like with kids, Anybody in here has kids, like at some point, if they know they could get away with something, they're gonna get away. They're gonna try you. Uh, Jack Harrington says, "I am so glad I quit watching this team after Saturday's loss." Oh, so you just stopped watching the team? Yeah. Players like Jazz and Trent Grisham are old enough where your manager should not have to teach you fundamentals. The thing is, it's happening with everybody. It seems like it's happening with everybody. At any given night, somebody just makes a boneheaded move. And I get it. These things happen. Every team it's gonna happen throughout the season, maybe once or twice or something. But this is constant. This is almost everyday stuff. This is like an everyday thing, almost. It's out of control. It's out of control. I don't know how it's allowed to even continue. I really don't. And, I've said this 100 times, and I'm gonna say it again. We're the joke of MLB. We are. And other fan bases and other teams, they love it. They love watching the Yankees suffer. And these guys don't care. It seems like, I don't know. I feel like they trying to, especially Boone. I could see the urgency in his face now. But it's a little too late, guy. It's a little too late. All them games you punted early in the season, these bullshit lineups that you've put out there, and all this stuff. This is why every game matters. Every game. But they're so entitled. They feel like it's 162 games, a long season. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. All right. Next month. Oh, yeah, it's a long season. It's a long season. We'll be fine. Okay. Next month. Oh, it's a long season. We'll be fine. It's like, all right, dude, there's only 2 months left, if that, right? At some point, you better kick it in gear. Like Judge always says, Judge is always like, yeah, we haven't really hit our hard streak, but we getting there. We're gonna get it. I'm like, when? When are you gonna get hot? The last week of the season when it don't matter anymore? Like, when are you gonna freaking get hot and really start playing like you should be? It's crazy. And my whole thing too with the mistakes and the errors and stuff, like, come on, guys, this is the major leagues. You're a big league club. A big league club, and you freaking kicking the ball all over the field. Like, I don't even think they do that in the minors. Even the minors, they're playing cleaner baseball than that. It's like, this is crazy. I've sometimes I watch local high school games are on my way that they play better than. You don't see stuff like that. It's just unacceptable. It is. I get it. They're human. There's a lot of pressure on them. Still, though, man, some of these mistakes are it's just basic stuff. Basic. Yankees for the win. What's up, my guy? He says, "Hey, Chief, can I get my props?" Exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. Time gets back. Bulls will be up by 2 games. Boston, yeah, you did say that. Boston will be up by 2 games over us. Listen to the gambler. Yankees for the win did say that. And he was like, yo, the bet on the Yankees, right? On the, what was it, Boston? I don't know, some crazy odds. And at the time, it seemed kind of crazy, right? But the Yankees never failed to amaze us, right? It's true. If you look at like the people in Vegas, right? The odds they put out. If you follow that stuff, look, I'm not a gambler like that, so I'm probably the last person to be saying this stuff, but I know that their odds are always kind of on point. They don't lose money over there. They're not in the business of losing money. So if they have specific odds for certain teams, they have the best guys in the world looking into these teams. They know everything, so they know if a team really has a shot or they don't, stuff like that. So, yep. Did you put a bet on that? Did you put money on that? Yankees for the win? Katie says, trust me, it's time for new management. We need someone who can whip this team into shape doing good. Yeah, Katie, and we need it fast. I like, I was one that always said, look, if they're going to do it, then do it in the off season. But now I'm to the point where it's like, no, it's got to happen right away. It's got to happen right away. Just get him out of there. If you have to put Brad Osmus, I'm not the biggest fan of him either. Until then, but definitely in the off season, they need to get rid of all of them. To be honest, all of them got to go. They all got to go. Jay Snow was good, my guy. I can't believe it. We lost again today. Who would have thought? I mean, I know you're being sarcastic, right? I mean, like at this point, it's kind of like I'm rooting for them to win, but deep down, I don't even expect them to win anymore. I'm expecting them to find a way to lose. As simple as that. Like they're good at that. There's one thing they can do. They'll find a way to lose. Let's hope that the Yankees can play better in the Texas series. I hope so. I don't think, look, if they lose this series or if they get swept or somehow leave if they leave Texas out of a wild card spot, I don't know if this team recovers from that. I really don't. And it's crazy because tomorrow we're facing, who are we facing? All right, we got Max Fried going up against Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin is like up and down. He's doing better this season, but he's had some good years and some bad ones, right? But we got our ace. If we can't win tomorrow with Max Fried, oh man, we in trouble. We are in big, big trouble. So that's the matchup tomorrow. Let's see if they put Tuesday's matchup. Okay, Tuesday we got Will Warren going up against Nathan Eovaldi. And we already know that he's a beast, right? He is a beast. Will Warren, that's not a matchup. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like any of these matchups, but especially this one. I don't like this one for nothing. And then Wednesday, let's see if that's posted. Carlos Rodon versus Jack Leiter. All right, this is a game that I feel like we should win, but the way Carlos has been pitching lately, my trust in him is not that great, right now. So we'll see. We'll see how the series turns out. We got to get these wins, man. We got to get these wins. Mr. Coconut says the manager is not in charge. Cash and Hal want a nice yes man. Well, if that's the case, man, then it don't matter. The blame is still gonna go on Boone. I don't think that they have because Cashman said it before. He said, look, we give Boone, they give Boone what they think the matchups and all that should be. He can deviate from that. He could do whatever he wants, but he better be right. Pretty much. That's what he said about that. He was like, he can deviate from that whenever he wants, but he better be right, and he better have a good reason why he's doing it. So either way, he's the guy, right? Boone is the guy who turns in the lineup card. He's the one who pencils it in, right? He's the one that goes out on the mound and takes the pitcher out or leaves the pitcher in. He's the one who's going to take a play out when he makes a mistake or put him in. You see, these are the things that he does control. He does control. I've never seen a pitcher come out of a game or come into a game by a phone call from the front office or something, Yeah, they could call the dugout and stuff, but we've seen it. How many times we've seen Boone go out there and then the pitcher's like, nah, I'm good. I ain't coming out. And he's like, all right, and goes right back. He does have, regardless of what you guys think, man, he does have some say-so in there. He does. And if not, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, look, they ain't performing well, and you're the fall guy. That's what the manager is. He's the guy that he's the face of this team. And right now we got a lot of cake on our face, man, because this team sucks, man, right now. They really do. I'm gonna play this where is it? The post game interview. Here we go. Okay.
Aaron, just 2 hits off of Cabrera this afternoon. Just what was he doing that made him so effective?
Yeah, I thought I thought Cabrera was, that's one of the better outings we've seen probably much of the year. Good fastball. That changeup he throws or split or whatever at 94 that's almost like a two-seamer. I thought that was really effective, and then he was landing his breaking ball, both slider and curveball. So, great at bat by Grish to get us going there, but then he kind of settled in and got a lead, obviously, and he was tough on us.
Did you feel like it was all Cabrera stuff, or did you feel like the approach could have been better?
I thought it was a lot of Cabrera. I thought we had better at bats today than yesterday. Even when we were getting held down there for a while, I thought we stung a couple balls. Grish had another ball good to second. Benny Rice just missed one, to the fence. Jazz smoked one to right. So I thought we had some better, in-game at bats against them, but just, I thought he was tough.
What'd you think of Heel first time out?
Obviously a struggle. Just no real command today. I thought he started to maybe get a little bit of a rhythm there in the third, but then that kind of went away. So, he flashed some of his stuff. Like, I thought he did some good things down in the zone at times, especially with some of their lefties. But just, too inconsistent with the strike throwing, and, got to be a long day for him.
The loss swept by the Marlins. You said before the game, we have to start doing things better. Just what can you do to snap this team out of it at this point?
Yeah, we're going into another, tough opponent that's playing well. We got to do it. We got to find a way. Again, we swing the bats really, really good. Obviously, the first night. Again, I thought today was better in the at-bat quality, getting shut down by a good pitcher. But, we got to put it together more than anything. Man,
I'm sorry. Every day's the same shit with this dude. Oh, man. Oh, man, Boone. You killing me, Boone. Every day is the same thing. Yo, yeah, good at bats. Just got shut down by a good pitcher. I don't know, man. I think it's time. It is time for the Yankees to move on from this guy, man. And I feel for him, really, and I wish him the best too. But this is getting out of control. This is a free fall. This has spiraled way beyond Boone's control. Let's get somebody in there. And it don't matter. Like, I saw somebody in the comments, was it Mr. Coconuts, saying they're just gonna get another yes man. Then get another yes man. I don't care. We just need something different. We need someone different. That's it. We just need someone different. For now, let's start there. And I get it. It's one of those things too. You never know, because they could bring in somebody worse. But I'm willing to take that chance, because this ain't working. This isn't working. It's like what he says. Stick with the devil, right? In this case, though, I'm like, look, I just need something new. I need someone new, a new voice. Maybe they'll listen, right? Maybe they will listen. And I'm pretty sure when these guys make these decisions, right, they sit down. I'm pretty sure Boone is in these conversations when the front office makes these decisions. He said himself, him and Brad Osmus, they make the lineups. They're the ones who make the lineups. So I do think a lot of stuff comes from the front office, but I also think that Boone he has a say in it too. He don't have to go along with that. And who's gonna tell him not to, right? If he's right, if he makes a decision and it works out, what are they gonna say? They're gonna fire him for that? No, they can't. It's on him, it's on Catch, it's on all of them. That's what I think. YOLO was good, man. What will piss me off is, let's say next year they bring back Girardi and he led us to a World Series. I would be like, wow, we could have had at least one if he stayed. I mean, look, it's one of those things. I try not to go and think. I've been hearing a lot lately, like, oh, the Yankees, they should have got a third baseman in the offseason. They should have did this, should have done. And I get it. You're right. They should have done all that stuff. But look, we can't go back. I'm thinking about now and in the future. And right now, something needs to happen. And it ain't gonna be a trade. We just brought in 7 new dudes. That ain't it, right? Every year we bring in a bunch of new players, right? Last year, we all know what happened to World Series all season long. Fundamental mistakes. That was the thing, right? They said we want to get better at the fundamentals. We're gonna bring in players that are good at fundamentals, good base runners, good on defense, right? The little things. And we're worse. We're worse than we were last year. You can't make this shit up, man. I'm telling you. You really can. And if it happens over and over and over, and then you see in players where they're only performing like that here, but they go to another team and that they're not doing that anymore, then it's something. It goes to tell you that there's something with this organization. It just is. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it. I was getting a lot of comments yesterday. People like, I get it. And they're like, who do you bring? Who do you bring? I'm like, I don't even care who they bring. Just bring somebody else. Give me a new manager. I don't care who it is, bro. For real. I really don't. You could bring in Fulano from the deli who makes the chopped cheese. It don't even matter. Just bring somebody in. I don't care who it is. So it says, I agree. I don't care who. Yeah, we need a change. It has to happen. Chef says the only people that want Boone there is their front office, Yes Men, and the Yes Network. Man, I'll tell you what though, Paul O'Neill and Michael Kay, they've been, I'm not gonna say speaking out on this team, but they've been saying things that is like, you could tell behind when they turn off the mics, right, and the cameras, you could tell they're like, what the hell? This team is a shit show. I know they do. I know Paul's looking at them like, bro, the hell's going on with these guys? He said on air, he said, these guys, they playing like a little league team. Like a little league team coming from Paul O'Neill. What are we doing? Cash brought in Boone, and Cash will bring in another Yes Man. All right, I don't care. Bring me another Yes Man. I just don't want to see Boone no more, bro. At least it'll be a different voice, different lies. We just need change. We need change, right? We do. But I see what you're saying, Mr. Coconuts, that Cash has to go too, and I agree. But, you can't have everything, right? You can't have your what's that saying? You can't have your cake and eat it too, or something like that. So one of them, somebody got to go. But and I feel like, wasn't it a few years ago they fired a manager in the offseason? Was it 2023? I feel like they always sacrifice a coach, right? And I feel like that's what Boone's doing right now with the first base coach. He's going to be the sacrificial lamb. He's going to throw his ass under the bus, his own freaking coach that he brung in. They had fired another first base coach, I think it was, or the third base coach. He ended up coaching the freaking, what's his name, Phil Neville. He ended up coaching the Angels. He got fired, and it wasn't supposed to be him. They should have fired Boone. They threw him under the bus. What about Dylan Lawson, right, the hitting coach? Even though he wasn't great, I wasn't too fond of him, but they blamed everything on him. Got him out of here. I wouldn't be surprised if they blame everything on this hitting coach, Rousing, whatever his name is. Get him out of here with the first base coach. No, it's not that, bro. It's you. It's you they gotta go. That's it, bro. They gave you a great team. When you look at this team on paper, yeah, it's not complete. It's not the best. But look at these other teams that we're losing to. There's not a team in this league that can't beat the Yankees, right? The Yankees are vulnerable. They're weak. Every team in this league could smash the Yankees right now. We're about to go up against the Rangers. I wouldn't be surprised if they freaking kill us there, right? I hope not. And then we go up against the Astros. TC, what's up, man? My bad, I'm behind in the chat. I'm trying to catch up to y'all. And then we go up against the Astros. We haven't faced the Astros all season. The Astros, they're good, right? And even when they're not good, they play us hard, right? We suck against that team. For some reason, we can't seem to find a way to beat that team. With the exception of last year, the opening series, we swept them 4 games. Yeah, it's year after year embarrassment. You know, I don't even know, man. If I was as bad at my job as some of these people, man, I would have been fired. You know, it's crazy. But it doesn't matter who it is. My whole point, right, is because I see a lot of names in the chat: Girardi, this, Jason Giambi. I've heard people say Paul O'Neill, Jorge Posada. Like my whole thing. Let's start with just getting him out of here first, and then we'll figure that out. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Oh, man, I feel like someone in my nose there. Current says doesn't go to games or anything. When's the last time we've seen him at a game? I haven't seen Hal in forever. Hey, Stephen B, what's up, man? I just got your text too, man. I haven't really read it. Stephen B, I mean, Steve, you could put the link in the thing. Stephen B wants to say he's interviewing CT Cards. He's asking me via text. Just throw it in the chat, bro. You're a mod. Do whatever you want. Kinda. Buffon is the worst manager I've ever seen as a Yankees fan. We are riding high, beating Tampa 3 in a row. Had a great deadline, and everything blows up. What a terrible mess this team is. A-Rod is 100% correct, 1,000% correct. Bro, you got 7 players, right? Granted, they not the Mason Millers of the world, but these are top relievers. These are good relievers, right? We got a whole new bullpen and a whole new bench. Now go ahead, Stephen B. A whole new bench, and still the same stuff. It's the same stuff. Yassine is in the building. Hey, you guys, also, by the way, for those of you who don't know, and I opened it up to everybody, you can pull up anybody's stats, right? I made a program in the chat, hit exclamation point and a player's name. Any active player right now who plays professionally, it should pull up their stats. And if it's a historical person like Gito, somebody who's retired already, who's not actively playing, just add the year to the end of it, right? So right here, I'll put, I don't know, Alex Rodriguez, 2009. It should come up. What the hell? Somebody pull up Austin Wells. All right. Yeah. There's just something cool that I made. And if you see a lot of little effects and Joker faces and all kinds of stuff, that's the chat. Just there's a bunch of commands. If you look at the description of the video, that you can fuck with me while I'm streaming. Yassine always freaking he's always messing with me, right? Anthony Volpe, 221, 17 home runs, 60 RBIs. Yeah, the way with Volpe, my thing is, look, I get it. Everybody's like, oh, he's hitting all these home runs. Whoopie do. I'm like, bro, how long do you think that he could sustain that? Right? He's not a home run hitter. I get it. If he hits one out every now and then, that's awesome. It's gonna happen. But he's looking like he's swinging for the fences. He hit the hardest. He hit the longest home run he's ever hit just the other day, 452 feet or something like that. And at the time, I'm like, that's awesome. But when I'm looking at him swing, I could tell that he's swinging as hard as he can. And it's not, for a player like that, he's not gonna be able to sustain that. I think that he just work on that on base percentage, please, Volpe. That's all we need you to do is get on base, steal bases, and freaking stop making errors. And I'm happy. I don't care if you hit 0 home runs. If your on base percentage is up there, 350, 330, and you're stealing bases, I'm cool with that. And you're playing defense. Paul Goldschmidt, his average is still good because he's got off to a crazy start. It's crazy because when I look at Paul Goldschmidt's numbers, right, I expect him to be worse for some reason because I feel like he hasn't done much lately. But then, the stats are the stats, but lately he has regressed. He looks like he's late on everything to me. And I get it. People are like, well, he lets the ball travel. Bro, stop letting the ball travel then, man, because you're missing it now. You're missing the ball. Kern says Max can do it. I'm a big Max believer. I am too, but, my thing is if he can't get it done, right? So, look, my thing is, it depends which Yankees show up tomorrow, right? Yesterday, Cam Schlittler pitched a gem. Yeah, he gave up 2 home runs. But we scored no runs. You can't win if you score no runs. I don't care how good you pitch. If your offense doesn't score a run, you cannot win. It's impossible, So hopefully the offense shows up. We should be getting Judge back soon. If that's gonna solve everything, I don't know. But maybe, look, when Judge is in the lineup, just his presence helps the batters around him because teams are gonna pitch differently to him. They're gonna pitch differently to, a person who's batting in front of Judge or something like that. That's just how it is. TC says, I would take Texas to sweep. Damn, bro, TC. Don't be so negative, man. Texas, then Houston. Put your seatbelts on. Yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. Look, if they don't, if these next 2 series, right? If we somehow lose both these series, I'll be honest with you guys, it's pretty much over. I don't think they got what it takes to come back after that. Jack says Saturday night afternoon summed up the whole season. They are done. Rick DeSarli, what's up? Rodon, not a fan. Rodon, he needs to go back to. He showed some good. He's had some really good outings this year, and I don't know what happened. I really don't. But we need our pitchers to give us 6-7 innings, man. We just do. We got the bullpen for it now. But when you're going out there and you freaking giving us 4 innings, it's not gonna cut it. Just isn't. I think that's what he gave us 4 2/3 on Friday. 4 2/3. And we got 82 people in here and only 36 likes, man. Make sure y'all smack that like button. Smack the like button. Do me a favor. It don't cost you nothing. If you're on your phone, you X out of the chat, hit the like, and open up the chat right back. It's too easy. Too freaking easy. I'm gonna play these parody ads real quick, and I'll be right back in about 40 seconds.
Bullpen meatballs. Serving them up all 2025 season.
You better like the video, and while you're at it, subscribe to my friend Jason's channel.
The reason your butt has been hurting is because you have YDS, Yankees Derangement Syndrome.
Hey y'all, don't forget, channel members can bring up live player stats.
All right. I'm trying to get to all the chats, man, but y'all killing it. Y'all killing it today. I appreciate it. I really do. Where we at? I see a lot of Buck Showalter. Bring back Buck Showalter. You know, didn't the Mets fired him, right? Either they fired him or they just didn't bring him back or whatever it is. I wouldn't be mad at that. I really wouldn't. I think they could do better though. There's so many guys out there that are good. You know, I was talking to, I was on NFE show, The Strike Zone, and we were talking about, like, look at the Brewers, right? There's so many college managers, right? They're managing like college baseball. A college team is like, especially a D1, like a big D1 school. A manager from there can manage a big league club, I feel like. You got guys like look at Pat Murphy with the Brewers, right? This guy, he seems like he takes no shit, and he look at what he's getting out of the Brewers. He's getting everything out of that team. Granted, the Brewers, they always find a way to be in it, but they're playing way better than they're supposed to be playing. And I think a lot of it is the manager. He's gonna win Manager of the Year. And he's getting every ounce of production out of those guys. Out of all of them. We need a guy like that. I feel like, you know, we always we think of these names that we know, right? These ex-players and all that. I feel like the guy who's going to be the guy, if they were to move on from Boone, it's going to be somebody that we probably never really heard about. Like me personally, I've never heard of the Brewers manager before until this year. So they were doing really good, and I'm seeing them on ESPN, I'm seeing them on Pocket. I'm like, who is this guy? You know? And I started doing a little research. I'm like, oh, this guy came up, you know, coaching at the college level and stuff, where you got a guy like Aaron Boone who's never coached. He's never coached, and you understand what I'm saying? He's never managed. Granted, he's been the manager for 8 years, but he's always had a $300 million roster. He's never really been in the trenches, okay? He skipped a lot of levels to be the Yankees manager. I mean, and it's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're giving us freaking championships, nobody really cares about that, but at this point, man, it's not happening. It is not happening. Itchy Nuts, what's up, man? A-Rod said no accountability and brought up Jazz play. Yeah, I'll play it one more time for y'all. Hold on. For everybody who's just joining.
Anthony, what happened on that throw there, that play there in the fifth inning?
I rushed the throw, pulled it, and gave Goldie a tough pick to handle.
Wrong thing.
You talked the other day about how high your expectations are for yourself. Just how disappointing have parts of this year been for you defensively?
I don't think they are, because we're now almost August.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you said it. Anytime you get a ball hit to you, expect it to be an out. So that doesn't happen. Frustrating.
The talent they do have,
It's contributed to the lack of consistency you've had in the field this year.
Mistakes day in and day out, both physically and mentally. And where's the accountability?
I think that's something that me and Chappie talk about a lot.
Made a mistake, we would be sitting our butt.
But we're just going to keep working and keep going getting after it.
And there's no consequence.
Before, but you feel 100% healthy?
And that's crazy. And it's crazy when A-Rod says something like that. We talking about Alex Rodriguez. He's telling you that he would have got benched. Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that was
at the time
he hit the ball pretty hard. So
he got paid what he got paid. He's we're talking about multiple.
You know, they're going to be busting, like you said. We have all their times and all their stuff to first. So you got a good internal clock.
252 million or whatever it was.
That's just a throw.
Everybody thought that was unheard of.
Concern is
He's
there
telling
now
you he would have got
Toronto has built a 4-game lead in the division. Still
how many
62 games to go, but
that's the top of the
biggest lead
right?
they've had on you guys. How much concern is that?
Getting doubled up on the pop. So,
I mean,
and Jeter too.
It's July.
Freaking Derek Jeter.
It's still middle of July. We got so many games ahead of us.
Yeah. I would have. I would have got sat down.
I mean, we don't stack ourselves up against one team or another.
You got these guys. You got a freaking Yorbit Vivas. Freaking tagging up to third and doesn't even slide. It gets
when we play our
thrown
best,
out.
I think everything will take care of itself, regardless of how many games go on.
What he's been saying over and over, this team has to play better. It's been a month of this. Does it? You guys saying that to each other? Does it feel like this has just been a long stretch of inconsistent baseball? You guys not playing the best where you're saying for early in the season how good you guys can be.
Giving out American League Championship Series rings,
That's
how sad.
Booney's saying that it's been a month of this. Is it? How frustrating is it that you guys haven't played your best baseball for now more than a month, where you showed early in the season how good you guys can be?
I'm telling you,
yeah, it's frustrating.
They're like, you know what? We
Anthony, what happened on that throw there, that play there in the 5th inning?
Let's give away American League Championship rings.
I rushed the throw, pulled it,
whoever spin win. I'm surprised
tough pick to handle.
You talked the other day about how high your expectations are for yourself. Right? Just how disappointing have parts of this year been for you defensively?
I'm telling you, man, this is
yeah, I mean, you said it. Anytime you get a ball hit, you expect it to be an out. So when that doesn't happen.
The inmates are running the asylum. It's out of control.
It's contributed to the lack of consistency you've had in the field this year.
Yeah, I don't know how much control Boone has over the hitters. I think
that's something that me and Chappie talk about a lot.
I'm for everybody going.
But we're just going to keep working and
maybe like
keep going.
There's a few of them that I can keep.
Before, but you feel 100% healthy?
But let's just start with Boone.
Yep.
Just to send a message like, yo, all right, this era of us playing poor fundamental, all this craziness,
yeah, I mean, that was
not winning.
He hit the ball pretty hard.
We're past that, right? Look, they DFA'd DJ LeMahieu.
You know they're going to be busting it, like you said. We have all their times and all their stuff to first, so you got a good internal clock. But I mean, that's just
to take that step, whatever it takes.
What concern is there now that Toronto has built a 4-game lead
this is the step
in the division? Still 62 games to go.
It's not a knock against
That's the biggest lead they've had on you guys.
It really is.
How much of a concern is that?
It's time, man. It's time. They want to send a message to the world and to baseball.
It's
like,
July.
Hey, the Yankees coming back.
July. We got so many games ahead of us,
and that's the move we make. You don't fire the first base coach or the hitting coach.
I mean, we don't stack ourselves up against one team or another. We stack. I feel like we stack ourselves up against ourselves. So when we play our best, I think everything will take care of itself, regardless of how many games go on.
Booney's been saying over and over, this team has to play better.
Okay, my bad. Appreciate it, man. Damn, y'all wasn't gonna tell me in the chat. I had something playing in the background. The old video. My apologies. Jack says, Jake, I didn't have. You shouldn't hear it anymore. You hear it, Stephen B? Let me know. You know what? Let me turn this all the way down. That's done. All right. The Yankees have been a 500 team after the All-Star break for the past 4 years. This is not new. I feel you, but that doesn't make it okay either, Good point. Yeah, it's not new. Like, gotta go. TC says 0 accountability, 100 excuses. 100 excuses. And this dude, he should write a book, man. Excuses for Dummies. That's the book he needs to write. It'll be a freaking New York Times bestseller. Lucas said either your signature will be on the contract or your brains. Oh man, that's you're going too far there, brother. You're going too far. I don't feel nothing for Boone. I do feel for the dude, man, because it's tough, right? But look, it is what it is. This is a business, man. That's why I don't understand. They were like, oh, catering to the players and bro, this is a business. This is the big leagues. Like, what are we doing? I get it. I want everybody to feel, happy and even though, look, the Yankees got all these coaches and all these mental coaches and all this stuff and all that. Like, stop. All right. Like, I get it. Mental health is serious. It's a thing. But how about we start playing baseball, right? Let's do that first. Okay. They got, who's that guy who's always in the dugout, man? I forgot what the hell he does. He got a big old chain, looks like a wrestler. He's an ex-baseball player. I forgot his name. I have no idea what he does for this team. He's just always in the dugout, chilling with his freaking $60,000 chain or whatever it is. He got a big old wrestling chain. And just, I don't know what he does. He's just there chilling. He's just chilling on the team. Man, who the hell is this guy? I forgot. Somebody told me one time what he is. He's got like some I don't know, some bullshit title they made up. They got all these. Come on. Somebody let me know who's that guy, man. I can't remember. Who's that guy that's in the Yankees dugout? He's an ex-player. He looks like a wrestler. White dude, freaking diesel chain, a big old chain. And he's always like, he's big and broad. He's always chilling with Big G in the clubhouse. I don't know who he is. He's like a bouncer or something. He looks like like a fake, I don't know. Like, what does he do? I want to know that, you know? I can't remember his name. Fuck. Yeah, my bad. I had a no, yeah, Turner. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Volpe. My bad. I had that video playing in the background by accident when I played the A-Rod thing. My apologies. I got a lot going on. I'll show you guys. Look, this is gonna look crazy. I mean, OBS. I got a whole bunch of browser sources and all kinds of sources in here. Remember, it says Mr. T. Yeah. We don't need the players to be happy. We have to win. You know what fixes everything? You know, it's the cure of all winning. Winning is the best. It cures everything, right? You want people to be happy, you got to start winning. You know, I'm saying all this, right? Imagine the Yankees, they freaking go on a tear, make the World Series, win the World Series. Be like, man, all that for nothing. But I highly doubt it. Like, I want to be wishful and stuff, but look, A-Rod said it. A-Rod killed it with that. He said, look, this is not a good team. Because before that, Poppy was like, well, you know, they're a good team. They just got to figure out it. He said, no, this is not a good team. This is over 2 months now that they're playing like this. You can't say this is a good team. If it was a week, got it, you know? A week, it happens. It's going to happen. But 2 months of playing like you're the freaking Chicago White Sox, that it's not a good team. This team is like, I don't know. Like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Mrs. Hyde, whatever. You don't know what you're going to get day to day with this team. And Russ said they have the talent, though. Yeah, they have the talent, but they can't put it together. And the thing is, too, I'm glad you brought that up, Celia, because they do have the talent, right? When you look at it, they have the talent, but a lot of times you can't even get them in the lineup at the same time. You never know when you're batting. The lineup is a freaking Russian roulette. It is never the same twice, right? People playing out of positions. I'm glad that they trying to go away from that stuff. And you just don't have your best players in the lineup for some reason at all times. I'm glad that Ben Rice played today. Ben Rice needs to play every single day. Enough. Every day. He needs to play every single day. I don't care if he hits the ball 100 times hard and makes 100 outs, but at least I know I have somebody in there who can hit the ball freaking hard. And it's not just going to be in there freaking whiffing at everything. And he threw a run out the other day. I can't remember the last time I seen Wells throw somebody out like that. Like, and with Wells, I'm already sick of the dude. Like, he can go. There's not enough chicken parms out there that's gonna freaking make him better. Or Volpe for that matter. Boone just got another $15 million he didn't deserve. F him. I don't care. Eat it. Eat the money. Eat the money. You're gonna make it back in the long run. When this team starts playing better, You're gonna make it back. Watch. I expect, right, after this road, this freaking this little road trip the Yankees on, if they slip out of this wild card spot, when they go back to Yankee Stadium, oh man, the boos are gonna be incredible. Ben Rice post game. I got you, D-Train. D-Train is calling for the Ben Rice post game. We're going to play that right now.
Ben, what made Cabrera so tough to hit this afternoon?
Yeah, he's got good stuff. Throws 2 different fastballs, and that changeup moves a lot. So I think he did a good job of just, being aggressive with his stuff in the zone.
Clearly a tough series for you guys. Just why do you think you guys have struggled to find consistency the last couple of weeks?
I'm not too sure. I think early in the year, I feel like the hitting and the pitching was always syncing up well. It was leading to a lot of wins. I feel like we just got to, find that rhythm again.
The amount of talent in this room, is it almost surprising that you guys haven't, and then it's kind of been going on for quite some time?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of good players. So I think, moving forward, we should just continue to carry ourselves with confidence and know the kind of people that we got in this room, and just take that into every game.
Would you say there's any concern in this clubhouse or just about how you guys have been playing over these past few months?
I wouldn't say there's concern, but I would say, I think a little sense of urgency would be good for us. I think just going forward, just to continue to do what we can to win ball games, and that's going to be doing the little things. It's going to be, like I said, hopefully we sync up pitching and hitting, and that's it.
Do you feel like the urgency has been lacking?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say
you just said that though in
as
so
we
many
continue
words.
To
He just said, I think a little urgency would be good. And then he caught himself right there. They're like, "Are you saying that you guys haven't been urgent?" He was like, "Oh, kind of messed himself up." But yeah, man, at least he's been real. They man, if they don't have a sense of urgency now, like that's it. That you can't say like, well, they got 50 more games, bro. 50 games is nothing. It's hard to catch a team. 5 games out of first place. It's hard to catch a team in 50 games. It just is. You got to literally, every 10 games, and I think we're under 50 now, but every 10 games, you got to gain a game on them. And the way this team is playing, it's almost impossible for them to do that. Let me play this real quick.
Move deeper into the season here in this playoff race. We're going to have to pick it up eventually. So,
yeah. I want to hear what Cody Bellinger got to say.
How do you think this team has not been able to play consistent baseball over the past couple of weeks?
And real quick, right, I want to give a shout out to Meredith because she asked the tough questions. She don't give a rat's ass, man. Like, she knows she's good. She's well established with the organization. They're not gonna let her go for no dumb stuff. But she's not giving them softball questions. Like, she really asked them, like, why you guys suck, in so many words.
Weeks, if not months.
Yeah, I think this series, right, just, they got us, they beat us, no way around it. We got swept, so got to come out tomorrow and be better.
Ben just had mentioned a sense of urgency at this point in the season of coming out and kind of handling individual business. How do you guys get that?
I don't think there's an answer, but ultimately we just got to play better. For me, got to wake up tomorrow and go out there and, for myself, I got to be better as well.
Eric called it gut check time. Like, do you feel like does it feel like that in here that, getting kind of late in the season?
Yeah, I think everyone in this room, we have really high expectations and we're not meeting them right now. So, I still really do. I have full confidence in this group of guys. Love this group of guys. I think we have really a lot of talented baseball players in here, and ultimately, we just got to play better.
The amount of talent that is in here, is it kind of head scratching as to why you guys haven't been able to get on a little bit of a roll here?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Had a great last series at home and come in here. Miami just, swept us. So, got to look ourselves in the mirror and get back, go to Texas, and play baseball the way I know we can.
Yeah. Let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens this series. Welcome, what's up, man? Welcome. You should be getting that light here soon. I'm gonna be giving away another light, like that Yankee light you see back there. I was gonna do it today, but I'm having a problem with the thing. So I just stay tuned. I'm gonna be doing that at some point, probably in the next week or so. But yeah, you should be getting yours in the mail. Stephen B, no accountability except from Stanton and Bellinger. Yassine says, Jason, are you going to the Yankee game at Globe Life Field? No, I would, but I'm not, man. I can't. It's a long drive, especially to Dallas, where that's at, like in the Dallas area. I've been there before, but it's a long drive. I can't. I got work. My wife is out of town right now for some training for her job, so I'm gonna be with the kids, and it's expensive too, man. Last time we went, I spent a lot of money on tickets. I'm gonna need a hotel and stuff like that, so I can't do it. I would though. I'd love to, but not this year. Not this year. I'll be watching on TV with the rest of y'all. The thing that sucks though is that when they're in Texas, since I live in Texas, it's a blackout area, so I have to find other ways to watch the game. It's like that's another thing with MLB, man, that I can't stand. But I'm gonna watch the game. I'll find a way. I always do. The Boos are coming. We can't play sound baseball with Boone 8 years and keeps getting worse and worse. I agree, man. I agree. It's not just this series, it's the last couple of months. Yeah, exactly 50 left. If they locked him and won at least 30 of them, they should be good. Yeah, man, but 30 out of 50. How many games is there left? Somebody do that math. Matt, what's up, Matt? He says, Judge, me and Booney talked it over some cupcakes. They were delicious. Oh, man, you guys had a little tea party too, right? Pinkies up? Pinkies up in the tea party. OG Giku. You can make an argument that when Bellinger lost that ball above him against the Jays, that this team began to just be trash. Bellinger is great, but if Belly doesn't, that fly ball, I think we win. I mean, dude, OG, man, you so negative, dude. This dude, what about the play versus the Mets that saved us, You can't say that. I mean, stuff happens, man. Look, there's so many, I could point to so many games, especially this season, that I'm like, man, if we did that, we freaking win that game. And that's why every game matters, right? Every game counts. But the thing that kills me the most, right, is that I could tell you about like a good 10, 15 times that we made the dumbest mental mistake. I think if that was a stat, like if they had like stupid mistakes, mental mistakes, if that was a stat, we'd be leading the league. So many. There's so many. It happens way too often. I understand every team's going to have maybe one or two, but we're talking about like at least good 15, maybe even 20 times that we've done something that was so dumb, so just basic, stuff that these guys should know better, and we've done it. Sunu says, I live closer to Globe Life Field, but still 35 miles away. I would go. I would love to go, but I can't do it this year. Usually I go when they come in town. I go for the whole series, man, and watch at least 2 out of the 3 games. But I can't do it this year. Man says, Bellinger has been the best player on this team the whole year. It's management. I also don't think the Yankees should re-sign Jazz. He gets hurt and he has mental lapses way too often. Man, I was thinking about that a lot today, about re-signing Jazz. And I love Jazz. Look, Jazz, you can't front like he's electric. The thing with Jazz, I didn't like his. I want to be careful. I don't like his attitude sometimes, man. I just like the way he handled that stuff yesterday. I didn't like that. There was zero accountability on his end. Like, somebody needs to tell these guys, like, look, bro, even if you feel that way, just do what Big G does. Just like Giancarlo comes out there, he's like, you know what, you're right. And I understand. Look, I messed up. I got to be better. I'm going to do better. And we would have been like, okay, you know what, Jazz? I got you, bro. You good. But when he goes out there and says, oh, you know, yeah, because he deeped me and he tried to trick me and I played here before. Trust me, I played it before. And like, would you do it again? He was like, yeah, of course. Like, what do you mean? If you, that play that he got doubled up on, that pop-up, right? If you run that play 1,000 times, I bet you he's out 1,000 times. There's no way. I don't care how far of a lead you get, and if he drops it, you're not making it. That is the dumbest play ever, bro. It just is. Hey, like, and the fact that you try to talk your way out of that, like it was okay, like you knew what you was doing, tells me, man, that that is worse than we even thought, man. It would have been one thing if he would have been like, you know what, bro, I messed up. I thought I was closer to the bag than I really was. So when I looked, it was too late. And I would have been like, all right, you know, cool. It happens. But to think that you was going to outmaneuver and this dude, like, come on, man. It's crazy. Crazy. Without Belly, the Yankees will be in 4th place. Bellinger is great. If anything, we need to be trying to resign Bellinger. Bellinger is a baseball player. I'm telling you, if you went in the lab, right, if you told somebody to build me a baseball player, the model baseball player, it'll come out like Cody Bellinger for the most part. He does everything good. He runs hard. He got speed. He's a great baseball player. And that's coming from me that I was not happy with them taking on that contract. I felt like, and the reason why I wasn't happy with them getting Cody Bellinger, making that trade, is because I felt like the Cubs fleeced us. I was still salty about the whole Kyle Tucker situation. I felt like us taking him, right? Like, I felt like they stole Kyle Tucker from the Yankees and left us with no option and that we had to take Cody Bellinger. You see what I don't know what the hell I was thinking, right? But now I'm like, okay, I'm glad I was wrong. Because Cody Bellinger's the man, bro. He just is. He's the freaking man. And I was wrong. I admit that, right? I'm not gonna try to talk my way out of it like Jazz. I was way off on that. And if you stick with this channel, there's a bunch of times that I'm gonna be off. I'm not one of these guys that act like they called everything and they, you know, no. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's batting 1,000 over here on YouTube. I promise you. We all have bad takes. You know, we all, you know, and nobody's perfect. And even that goes for the players on the field too. But when you don't hold yourself accountable, then it's a problem. It's just baseball. This ain't just baseball. This is life, bro. Now I'm just playing. Baseball is life, right? We gotta get the t-shirt. Baseball is life. Yeah, no, I hear you, OG. I hear you. Momentum was lost after the second Red Sox series, in my opinion. I feel like I hear what you're saying. I think that Dodger series, we've never been the same after that Dodger series. I don't know what happened that series. We just got freaking embarrassed and everything. We never recovered from that. We've been probably under 500 ever since that Dodger series. I think the Yankees, they felt like they were good, right? Like, yo, this is a good team. All of us did, right? And I think them personally, like, yo, we good. We're going to go far this year. And then when they played the Dodgers, like a team, and got spanked like that, I think it just crushed them. Like, damn, they weren't as good as they thought. And they've never been the same since. The Jays lost 2. Itchy Nuts brings up a good point, man. The Jays lost 2 out of 3 to the Royals and gained the game on us. That's bad, right? That's what I'm saying, bro. The Yankees kill themselves, man. We doing it to ourselves. That's what it is. We can't get out of our own way. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot every game. Sunil would let's hear Sunil's jokes. If mental errors were an award-winning stat, no one would compete with us. Think about how inglorious that is. I know, right? There wouldn't be no one else who qualifies for the stat, for the award. D-Train says, we better re-sign Jazz. We gave away Ramirez for him. That don't mean nothing, man. Oh, because you lose a player doesn't mean anything. That's like saying we gave up Caleb Durbin for Devin Williams. We have to re-sign Devin Williams. Well, it doesn't. I'm not saying they shouldn't re-sign him or they should. I'm still indecisive on that. Like, I'm still indecisive. Jazz is good, but manager has to account for the players. Like, here's the thing, guys. And I'll say this with Jazz. Like, sometimes if you're always having issues, right? If it's always something, and this goes in more ways than once. This is all in life, right? At some point, if everywhere you go, every job you go, or everywhere you go, you're having issues with people or whatever, and you're always like, oh, these people and that and this. At some point, you got to look at yourself and be like, what am I doing? That everywhere I go is the same thing, having the same issues. And that applies to Aaron Boone and this leadership, right? This team, because they're always changing players, but it's always the same thing. And that applies to Jazz too, because he didn't leave the Marlins in good standings either. There was a lot said about him over there, Just saying. Verdugo's the same thing. Yankees played excellent defense in the beginning because they had eyes on them for a bit. Yeah, Celia says, itchy, that's what bothers me the most. The Blue Jays aren't exactly playing good baseball right now. Yeah, this is, we didn't take advantage of it. It was a missed opportunity. Right now, we should be tied with them or back in the lead or something. But the thing is going to happen, and we've fallen so far back, and we might fall even further back, than when we face them, the Blue Jays again in September. At that point, we'll be so far gone that we can't even do anything about it. I was hoping that we can at least stay close so that when we face them, it'll be a series like whoever wins this series is going to be on top of the AL East. But that's not the case, man. We've literally slipped way behind. We're talking about like a 15-game swing in the span of 2 months in the standings. That is not normal. That is bad. Sean Martin, what's up? Jazz needs to join the Army or Marine Corps, learn some discipline. Oh, yeah, man. That'd be nice. Did you serve, Sean? I'm an old Army guy myself. Jazz prima donna. I mean, look, I like that stuff. Like, I like the swag and all that stuff. But at the same time, be humble and don't have an attitude like that. And just hold yourself accountable and play well. That's all I'm asking for. But I love the swag. I like the swag. I like the black flips. I like the chains and being icy on the field. I like all that stuff, He raps and stuff. I like all that. I find is cool, right? I'm okay with all of that as long as you're performing. But when you're not performing, then I'm like, okay, we could do without all this stuff. How about we focus on baseball? So Neil says, mark my words, Edward Cabrera is a future Josh Beckett, future Red Sox stud in disguise. Let's see, somebody screenshot that. Yankees for the win had called it too, man. Even when nobody was really thinking of the Red Sox, he was like, man, you better watch the Red Sox. He even said it, like, make a bet on them. They're going to pass them. And I was like, they like 3 games out. Nobody cares about them. And here we are. Then the Rangers have Eovaldi pitching in one of those games. That's an auto loss, considering they couldn't hit the Marlins pitcher today. Yeah, we'll go through the pitchers one more time, too. I have pulled it up already. So tomorrow, where is it? What am I doing? All right. Tomorrow we got Max Fried going up against Patrick Corbin. If I remember correctly, we've hit this guy pretty well. Patrick Corbin, man, he's had years that he was really good, and then he was really bad, and now he's somewhere in the middle, I guess. So that's tomorrow's matchup. I like tomorrow's matchup. We gotta win tomorrow. We got our ace out there. You cannot lose that game. On Tuesday, we got Will Warren. This is the matchup I don't like. This is a game that is like, man, if we could steal this game, I'd be super happy. Hopefully, hopefully Will Warren pitches well. And he has command of his pitches. I think that's the biggest thing with him, is just having command of his pitches. And then Nathan Eovaldi, he's a beast, man. Like, that's a tough game. That is a tough game. And on Wednesday, we have Carlos Rodon. At this point, I like this matchup too, but who knows, right? Who knows which Rodon we getting? Are we getting bearded Rodon or bald face Rodon, right? Who knows what we're going to get? Going up against Jack Leiter, who's Al Leiter's son. And good friends with Anthony Volpe too, by the way. So we gotta take this series. We have to. Matt says D-Train Jazz is not meant for New York. With that terrible attitude, I'd rather a stopgap in free agency. I mean, the way the culture is and this team, he's perfect for New York. Excuses. Oh man. Him and Boone, man, they're freaking they're like a match made in heaven. Most of us agree the team does not have championship energy as long as Baba Boone is the manager. Yeah, man. Look at what Stephen B says. Susan, I heard Red Sox called 5 times for him and basically said, I want something better for him. And they finally bid on a prospect. He was in AA. We got with the international money. Who are we talking about here? Oh, Narvaez? Yeah. It's crazy because, even Augustin Ramirez, everybody's like, well, he's just he's a DH. He's never. I'm like, look, I'd take him over Wells right now. I would, I don't care if he sucks at catching, man. At least he's doing something. Because lately, man, Wells been sucking at behind the plate and at the freaking in the batter's box. Yeah. They did play like this last year, All-Star break. I thought they played a lot better. No, this has been something they've been doing like for the last 4 years. But last year, the difference was last year they had they slipped a little bit, right? They had the June swoon, buffoon, whatever they call it. And then they slipped a little bit last year, if I remember correctly. But then they figured that out and they played good enough, to take that division. And then in 2023, this year reminds me a lot like 2023. A lot like 2023. There was a game in 2023 in Miami after the All-Star break, just like today. It was about a week after the All-Star break that I knew that the Yankees were doomed. It was a game that Clay Holmes blew a 5-run lead in the 9th or something like that. They blew a 5-run lead in the 9th, and why Boone didn't take him out, I have no idea. And then they kept throwing him out there, and he was blowing saves left and right, and I knew it was over. And this season, I'm telling you, Friday, the way we blew that lead there, it was almost the same thing. It was almost the same thing. I'm going to look it up, see if I can find it. It's crazy because I remember the last play being like a little dribbler too, like Fridays was. Look, okay. I think this is it. I can't find any video. It's almost exactly the same stuff, man. It's crazy. Holmes blew a 4-run lead in the nightmarish ninth inning, committing a throwing error that allowed the 2 runs to score before surrendering Luis Arias' game-tying triple. It was a little later, right? This is August 13th, 2023. So I'm 10 days off. But that was the end of the season for me. I remember that game like it was yesterday. That game, after that game, I knew it was over. I was like, this team is doomed. And this series gave me those vibes, man. It gave me those. I don't know if you guys remember that series or that game in particular with Holmes. Let's see if I could. They just showing me a bunch of Boone stuff. Was it this? Anthony Volpe 2-run home run. Yeah, look at Josh Bell.
On everything you buy and get access to over.
Oh my goodness, these damn ads. I'm probably going to get copywritten for this, but who cares? Do you remember this?
That is gonna do it. Jake Burger is the hero. The Marlins come all the way back.
But the thing with that game, right, is that Boone waited too long to take out freaking Clay Holmes. He let him in there and let him blow 4 runs. I'm like, he just left him out there, and everybody was like, "Get this guy out of here, dude." And he left him out there, and eventually it was. That's it. It was over. They brought in Tommy Canley, gave up the hit. It was done. I don't know if you guys remember that game. Why are we not hearing about Judge hold a come to Jesus player only meeting? I was saying the same thing, and why like he needs to do it. Look, Judge, and I love Judge. Look, Judge is my guy. But he has some blame in this too. And I was just saying that earlier, because if it was Derek Jeter, I'm pretty sure Derek Jeter would have been, he would have not let this go so far. He would have been saying something. I don't know, and I'm not saying the Judge isn't behind the scenes. I don't know, right? But something needs to happen, right? Like you said, a players only meeting or something. Like, do something, man. I think Judge is like trying to trying to play the cool role. Like, nah, they got it. We good. No, you're not good, man. You're not good. They need a players only meeting. And that might not do it though. Look at the Orioles, right? The Orioles early in the season, remember we was playing it, there was like, they said they had a players only meeting or whatever. It turned out, I don't know if that was true or not. They ended up firing the manager and stuff. Look, we get to that point where stuff has to happen. Those player meetings got to happen. Freaking Hal needs to come down and have a stern talking with Boone. Something, man. Something's got to give. You can't just act like everything's all great. Like, oh, we good. Everything's good. It's all right. When it's clearly not. Clearly not good. Boone has no fear feel for the game after using the 2 new guys and seeing them give up runs. Why did he go with Doval? People were saying they wanted to see the new guys. I wanted to see the new guys too, but after the Jake Bird and David Bednar I was like, man. And even then, like, I think Doval, look, it wasn't a good outing, but I think that he gets out of that 9th inning if Caballero makes that play in right field. He still gives up a run, but then we will still have one more run, and I think we end up winning that game. Instead, that ball he missed was like, oh my goodness, you can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. A-Rod called out accountability and consequences, and Boone said A-Rod doesn't know what happens in the clubhouse. He said that for real? When did he say that? Man, look, Boone. I listen to A-Rod before I listen to Boone. And you're right, we don't know what goes on in the clubhouse. But we know whatever is going on in the clubhouse ain't translating to the field. Plain and simple. And we know that those guys, they still play on the field. So what accountability are you talking about? If Boone said that A-Rod doesn't know what happens in the clubhouse, we know that this guy just made a freaking, forgot how many outs were there in the top of the ninth in a big, big game versus the Rays at home when we're trying to take the lead and win it. And we know that he played the next game like nothing ever happened. That's what we know, right? So I don't know what's happening in the clubhouse. You're right. I don't know if Boone is taking the belt and whipping these dudes or yelling at them or punching holes in walls. Nobody knows, right? But we do know that they still play, right? And it's still the same shit over and over. So to be fair, I don't think Jeter opened his mouth much when he was playing. Now that he's retired, he's big talk. No, Susan, no, there's stories that have come out. See, that's the thing that Jeter would never let you know. You would never know. But I forgot who it was. I'm trying to think. Was it Mariano Duncan? There was a player, as a Spanish player. He said it like Jeter had that respect in the clubhouse. He said that they went out to eat one night, right? I forgot his name, man. They went out to eat one night, the players. And one of the other guys, they were joking around and they were joking like with the waiter or something like that. And then when the waiter like took off, like went to get the food or whatever, Jeter looked at him and he said, "Oh, like, don't ever do some shit like that again. You apologize." Or something like that. And guess what? They apologize, you know? Like Jeter has some say. What did he tell what's David Wells, right? And David Wells was not one to keep his mouth shut. He never was and never has been. To this day, he's very vocal. I forgot what it was that he did. And Jeter came up to him. He said, "Hey, we don't do that over here." You know, just like that. And it was like, okay, and guess what? Never done it again. But Jeter also had Joe Torre. He also had a guy like Don Zimmerman, you know, in that clubhouse. And we have Aaron Boone and freaking Brad Osmus. That's what we got. Let me get to Real Bill. Oh, Real Bill was in Bristol. Come on, Roxy. Oh my God, my dog is going crazy. Come here. Real Bill says, "I had a very interesting conversation with Jeter last night in Bristol. It really opened my eyes to the BS in the Big Apple." Man, you trolling. You're trolling, Real Bill, right? Jeter didn't need to say anything when he played. He did his talking on the field. Yeah. Peter Rex, Hal has to bring his sushi tray down to the dugout and talk to the team between sips of champagne. No, but Jeter did talk. He did. And we don't know if Judge is doing that too. I don't know. I think he does sometimes, but I think he's doing it kind of more like he's just doing it because it's expected of him. Where Jeter was doing it, like even if he wasn't a captain, he was gonna be like, yo, like. But Jeter wasn't no tough guy, nothing like that. You know how many fights I've seen the Yankees have, and I'm like, where's Jeter? Like I'm looking for Jeter, and he's just kind of in the background, like he didn't want no smoke when it came to stuff like that. Not like A-Rod. A-Rod used to throw down. Judge definitely not respected as a former player at high school level. I've been calling that out since last year. Yeah. David Wells and Steinbrenner nearly had a fist fight. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a dude like David Wells, who's a crazy dude, vocal, a tough guy to go up to and tell him anything, right? And Jeter went up to him and was like, "Hey, don't do that. We don't do that over here." Posada too was a beast. Posada was the most, but that's what I'm saying. Judge is the brains and Stanton's the muscle, right? He got Big G. So you get Big G. You see them two big ass dudes, they approach you in the locker room and tell you, "Hey, you better get your shit together." Like you're gonna listen. It was 2021 versus Houston. I know because I was laid up in bed after the four-wheeler accident. Oh, man. But yeah, folks, look, I appreciate everybody joining. If you haven't liked, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. That's gonna pretty much do it for me. I lost track of time. I've been on for quite a while now. But I appreciate everyone. I will be doing a giveaway for the light soon. I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna do it. But again, yeah, let's go Yankees. Hopefully we can hopefully they can wake the hell up, right? And get back in this thing. Let's get back in this thing and let's freaking at least look. You know, I know I'm bringing the bar down a little bit, but let's get into the playoffs at least, right? Maybe we don't get the division. That's what I really want. But let's get to the playoffs and then we'll figure it out. Maybe freaking Big G goes on another tear. Maybe Aaron Judge can freaking redeem himself for his October woes. Let's do something, man. Let's get there first, though. Let's get it together. Anyway, that's going to do it for me. I appreciate you all. Have a blessed evening. Take care. Good night. Peace.